We are awakening together. This is our weekly gathering we hold online. For more information, visit our website, awakening-together.org. We'd love to see you there.
Nice. Hi, everybody. I want to welcome everybody to the Sunday gathering. It's great to see everybody. It's great to have this privilege of me checking in with myself every 10 weeks, like a midterm exam to see where I'm at. I love it. So anyway, I love this whole page. Our purpose and values. There is a consistent wisdom in the universe. It shows up in all religions, in philosophy, in all cultures, and throughout time. This wisdom is not unique or new. It is owned by no one and by no organization. No one has to go to a special place or a special teacher to find it. It is the most abundant wisdom in the universe. Once one opens his/her heart to this wisdom, it appears everywhere by the hand of universal grace. And I like this one too. What is awakening together? Awakening together is a universal assembly of peers dedicated to recognizing and embracing universal wisdom, regardless of the form in which it appears. We are also dedicated to recognizing the way we deny universal wisdom by adopting personal beliefs and biases. We want to recognize these limitations so we can free ourselves from and open to the continuous flow of universal wisdom. So getting down to where I'm supposed to be, our purpose. We are an assembly of equals joined in a common purpose, awakening to one true self, with an appearance of many faiths, many cultures, and many symbols. We seek to discern one truth and to rest in its embrace. I picked core value number 2 today. We realize everyone is equal and no one has been given spiritual intuition that is an authority over the spiritual intuition of others. We live by this value by listening to each other, respecting each other, and allowing each one to be where he, she, or they are. I'm going to, let me see what else is next. Okay, we have announcements. And I think there's 4 announcements today. And Ann is going to read I'm going to invite Ann in to read the first 2, and then Rhoda will take the last 2. So, Ann?
Thank you.
I guess we're ready for my opening song. From 67, I think, to 72, it was played every day. And I'm showing my age. Sorry about you new guys. But anyway, let me just get back to retreats. You know, I'm definitely going to do that on retreat. Yeah, the learning how to put a retreat together with Regina. I am so interested in that. There are a lot of good ones, letting go of fear and the I am bad belief, all top-notch retreats. Anyway, you know, I love to take songs apart, and you know, I'm not going to do that today. I can turn all the lyrics into a homily today, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to spare you of my talents to go beyond. You know, but you know, those first 4 lines are, you know, I'm just gonna say them out loud, and you can put your own spin on it. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. I mean, that's letters I've written, never meaning to send. You know, there's so many ways, you know, to, I mean, you know, I was reading this Nisargadatta book before we get into the, you know, I was reading this Nisargadatta book, and it was asked, the question was asked, well, this, you know, it's a question and answer period, and the book is called Pointers from Nisargadatta, and the questionnaire was boasting about how he read the Bhagavad Gita, and which, you know, I can turn this song into the Bhagavad Gita, but I'm not going to. But anyway, but this was one of the turning points in my summer from my last homily. Was so Nisargadatta said, so from which standpoint do you see the Bhagavad Gita? And the questioner was stumbling over it, and then some other people answered, and you know, the Bhagavad Gita is another mind crucifixion kind of thing, of an extreme case going on in your mind, but and without me telling you any details of it, but you're put into an impossible situation where there's no way out, and so there's two characters, Arjuna, and who's going through, you know, going through that state of consciousness where is there something other than God here, or is there nothing other than God, or is there something other than God? And you know, the two consciousness that we battle with, and the inner realities that we deal with. And so Nisargadatta says, well, why isn't, you know, Krishna's standpoint, you know, why wasn't Krishna's standpoint, you know, he's the source of all manifestation, you know, and it's not from the phenomenon, but it's coming from the noumenon, you know, that the total manifestation is you, you know, and, you know, that turned me around where, you know, the whole undoing process and the teaching process of me teaching, you know, it was like I mean, so getting back to the song, I can take this into his love affair of missing his woman and that she's not there to lie beside him, to you know, letters I've written never meaning to send. I mean, this is a letter to yourself. You know, this is a letter to you so you can hear it. It's like a prayer. God doesn't need your prayers. You need your prayers. You know, it's, you know, and, you know, and the beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before. I mean, the places that I've taken, the places I've gone to in this relationship that I never would have gone. It's like I always, you know, I attribute to having a dog. You know, how many places did this dog take me and the people I've met because of my dog? You know, I never would have, you know, so the beauty, you know, beauty I'd always missed with these eyes before, just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. And here we go, you know, we just don't know. You know, the truth is in that silence, that personal voyage. That is, you know, I am, you know, like Rupert says, I am the happiness I seek. But anyway, enough of that. I lost myself here. Okay, I guess it's time for me to pray. Okay. All right. So why don't we just pray? Let's close our eyes and let's get that, remember the being, the semblance of being, the awareness. Father, I turn this meeting over to you and to the Holy Spirit, that you may be my words, my thoughts and feelings that go up into the ethers of the minds that are to be received, that they may be customized for the ears that need to hear. That this is all yours, that I may, that you may help us, lead us out of the unreal to the real, from the darkness, lead us from the darkness unto the light, lead us from death to immortality, lead us from the purity of, lead us to the purity of the I am, from the identifying with the objects and the stories that we observe. Thank you. Amen. Well, the crash course here, if there's a crash course, or the cliff notes of what's going on here, is if you're aware of what I'm saying, then there is something that's aware of the awareness of what I'm saying. And that's who you are. And the more you practice that, and that is the discipline. And that discipline will eventually find you. No matter what you do and what your sidetracks are. And I've got, if Rupert or Mooji, it's mostly Rupert, if he's reading a book, I got to go get it. And that's one of the books I have today. And, if there's a book out there, I want to read it. But, it's all about my practice. It's my practice. Am I observing and not identifying? And the more I do that, I build this inner reality, this inner world that, I got to deal with the outside world, but a certain percentage, I need the ego. The ego gets me through, I'm not, and I can't dismiss the world. I can't ignore it. The beauty that goes on in the world. It's how I want to see it. But, with what eyes, do I want to see it with? But, who am I? Who am I? So, I think it's time for me to let Kelly read from NTI. I picked Philippians. I did not know, which one to pick. There's 4 of them. So I took the time and I just took out what I wanted to hear in all 4 of them. and I sent it to her. And yeah, I have a few of my Tabasco sauce lines in it, but I don't mean to offend anybody, but that was my my gift to myself through Holy Spirit. So, Kelly.
Hi, everybody. Nice to be here with you today. Billy, nice to see you, and thank you for the invite. Happy to be here. So, NTI Philippians 1 through 4 excerpts. Empty your mind of all you thought was true. Accept the grace and peace of God as your true inheritance. I pray for you means I know who you are, and I know who I am, and I know who we are together. I pray for you means I know we are not separate, but connected through God, which is mind and spirit. I pray for you means I recognize our oneness, and I recognize that as I ask for you, I too shall receive. I pray for you is a statement of faith that all you see and sense and experience is not all there is. You have been told the world is not real, and you are the process of the creation that is God. You are the process of creation that is God. Now is the time to put the two together through practice. I come to teach you that there are no limits on who you are. The way you operate in the world is a reflection of your faith and your belief. For the way you operate is not action, but the image of the expression of thought. Trust that you do not know yourself because you have not observed that closely until now. Be careful that you do not judge what you see and observe. Separate yourself from the body, step back, see that it is not you. See it as a learning tool for the mind. What do you learn about the mind? Realize now who you are as you watch this body and learn from it. Realize that you did not know, so you lived in ignorance before. Do not be personal with the body as you watch it and observe it. Do not feel you are looking at you. I tell you, the body that you observe is not you. It is merely an expression of your thought. You are the process of creation that is God. You are the process of creation that is God. You are mind and spirit that is not in the world. Observe that. Observe that you can observe that. When you observe the body with the purpose to learn and do not observe alone. Let me repeat that. When you observe the body with the purpose to learn, you do not observe alone. The one who knows you, teaches you, observes with you so that you may learn. So you may heal your perceptions and acknowledge true perception. I am not here to take away what you see. That is a decision you will make when you are ready. I am here to teach you to see differently. I tell you, without words or circumstances of the world, you will find many feelings within you. Dive below those feelings and go deeper. Ask what else is there to see. You may come to a very personal feeling. It may seem strong like a wall. This feeling tells you that you are what you are not. So do not pause to listen to it. Be vigilant and tell it you've come to hear the truth. As the wall opens, you will discover what was hidden. You will notice that you are lighter, as if a heavy burden has been lifted from you. Continue walking, and you notice the joy. It is a feeling that feels natural and light. Then stand quietly within the room you have entered. Ask all that there is to come and show itself to you. What you experience now, bathed within the light, is the truth at the level of the heart. This is who you are. You are not perfect in your own perception because of the feelings you found outside the door. You found those feelings without cause. That is why you see them in the world. You are looking through the filter of your mind. Pause for a moment when you look at the body in the world. Observe. Look at what it is doing and what it is thinking. It is aware of the real you, the feelings beyond the door. Is it aware of the real you, those feelings behind the door? Or is it using the world to attach meaning to feelings outside the door? Take time to walk through the wall. Find yourself and lose those feelings into the world. Be not distracted. Be the love you are, and the love that you are shall be known by you. Rejoice in the gratitude of yourself, and it is yourself and only yourself you will see in all, for there is no other. So honor yourself as you observe, so you can honor self as you observe. There we go. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Kelly. This whole journey to find out that I am the journey, but that, that everything is in me, but, this whole path of Course in Miracles and NTI, and this path to true perception, that I'm here to ask to see things differently. That I can't see everything. My human condition is so limited. And we're here to go beyond all that, to throw the books away, to practice, to practice observing like I'm looking at someone else, but observe, and this summer I had some monumental tasks I had to go through, and but before I get into them, there's, I joined, recently I just went. There's a Unity Church down the street from where I live here in Naples, and I never been to a Unity Church before, and it's all Course in Miracles. And I went there I think I was there last week, or I think I was there 2 weeks ago. And then I found out they had a course meeting on Tuesday nights, and I said, let me go see what what are they doing in the course? And I went to the course meeting, and they were just starting the book, and they were on the 4th principle of miracles or something, 3rd, and I was more enamored with the passion of how it was being delivered, by the minister's husband, and and how he was breaking down duality, and I sat there in my space, and I just, I was just enjoying his tears coming through words. And, and then, one of the participants, a woman in the groups, brought in the world, brought in television, brought in the funeral. And she's, as because he was breaking down ego mind, right mind, wrong mind, and all that. And she says, with all this love pouring out on that you see on television, he says to her, she says to him, is this egoic love? And and so he paused, and something in me erupted, and there was enough time for me. I don't know. There's something in me, and I just said, and I was sitting close to her, and I said, yeah, but who's asking that question? That's the real answer. And I said, because you're going to see what you want to see, and then he says, she says, well, I'm watching. I'm the one asking the question. Yeah, but who is the you that's asking that question? So it goes back to that Krishna kind of thing. Are you doing this Bhagavad Gita? Can you tell the Bhagavad Gita from Krishna's point of view on how he's trying to how he's attempting to steer Arjuna, to tell him that he is the whole manifestation of everything. And so the future comes around, and I did not want to, it's tough to have two course teachers in the same room. So I was going to humble myself, and it's not my room, it was his room. And, he asked the question that he needed to answer to get back to what he was teaching on the blackboard. And I said, I just said, I'm okay with what I asked her. I don't know what you want to get out of me. I'm okay with where I am. I'm in my certainty of, that's how I do it. And I'm willing to learn what you have to teach. So, and he brought something, I forget what it was, right now it was had to do with the certainty of knowing the truth, and that. But that saying, in that's from the standpoint of which way do you read, which way do you tell the story of the Bhagavad Gita? It turned my whole summer around, turned my whole observing consciousness, into, I'm finding myself in between two levels. Can I stay here? Can I not stay here? But there's another book. Before I get into that book, I did have a summer of monumental tasks I had to do, and I had to break down my my place on Cape Cod and move all the wood that it was an enormous room, take it And I didn't, take it from the southeastern corner of Massachusetts to the northwest corner of Massachusetts, 300 miles, and then bring it into the mountains, which is another ordeal. So before I started all this, I didn't have anything. I showed up and, I'm looking for the cosmic flow to present itself. Like, what's life's next move? Not mine. What's life's next move? Am I going to try to manipulate? Am I going to be the crowbar? Am I going to try to fit my projections, from the flow to a particular desire? Or am I going to stay in the flow? So I went to my local ice cream shop down there, and I know the owner, and he happened to be selling a trailer that is exactly what I need to bring the wood from on this journey. So I said, okay. So this is a movement that I can feel going on. This is not just the actions of my single entity. This is a creative movement that's being assisted with no doubt. I said, but I'm too old to do, 10 years ago. When did I build this thing? 10, 15, 12 years ago? I'm not that same person anymore. And I'm just recovering from prostate surgery. So the twin boys that I used to take sailing with me when they were 13, 14 years old, all of a sudden became available with their friends. And my wife was away, and we had a big week at my summer place where we took the whole thing down in a week and had it all ready to go, shipped to go in a week. And I just got out of the way. There was no doubt. No doubt there was not a decision to make. It was the recognition that it was unfolding by itself. And I watched this happen. And I brought it to Western Mass, and and then it happened so fast that I was gonna tear down the rest of it and sell off everything. And then I wanted to come home because I was running out of gas, and I didn't. Back to Naples. I needed a timeout. And I didn't go, and I didn't listen. I should have gone. And but once again, it was a learning tool for the mind, as the reading said. The reading also said something that really knocked my socks off. And it's in Philippians 3. And it says, I tell you that without words or circumstances of the world, you will find many feelings within you. So I sat with that, there's no cause to make, this is without cause. I'm telling you, without words or circumstances of the world, you will find many feelings within you. They were already there. They were part of the coloring book of experience, would have taken away from from absolute awareness, or you want to say, I'm currently created perfectly until my mind gets there. But this was to resonate in that, to know that these were already there, waiting for me to people what I need, and my true are, I'm not good enough and I don't have enough, and I'm always playing the Popeye and the victim and the hero role, and I'm not good enough, and I don't have enough, and I'm always the guy that's the slow learner, and I'm the turtle, and then the turtle started to be a good guy because the turtle won the race, but I was I'm a slow reader. I got to read things 3 times, and then when I got here, we have to read things 3 times. So it's so it was really kind of cool that I was in the right place. But this whole thing about love and my discovery of love, and how it's my inner definition of what love is, it's in how I need to connect myself with another, so my love can be my love it becomes the recognition of the self in the other, where the two become one, So we've got this whole Course in Miracles and NTI, and they're all getting us to true perception of changing the mind about the mind, and we get to that place. We got the I am, we've got absolute awareness, and then we have we're being aware of the I am and enter duality. So somewhere in the Course, we get to that place where right-minded and wrong-minded can't coexist. But when we throw the book away, we get to a place where there's a place where right and wrong, good and bad, abundance and scarcity, they just all have a place that they can just as you leave language, they hold that space, the positive and the negative, the North and the South Pole, that the electricity that just happens by itself. If God takes that next step, or I'm returning my consciousness back to, consciousness is going back to itself, or, I am actually seeing the I am is the reflection of the absolute. And then the split happens. You bite the apple or whatever, the split happens, and because the split happens, there's, I'm looking for, I'm looking for what's not God. I'm looking for it's like subconsciously I'm being led to find its opposite so I can make it whole, to get it back to the wholeness, to heal the split. And it's happening by itself. So, how does that happen in my life? So I'll give you an example. We have when we got down here, there was a realtor that we fell in love with, and and he asked us, we bought 2 houses from him, and we actually found the houses. He just went in there and put it together. But he asked us to write something about him. So I wrote something and my wife, Susan, wrote something. So we didn't think any of it. I said, did you write it? And she goes, yeah, I definitely. I go, yeah, I wrote mine. And I go, he's going to pick mine. And she goes, no, he's definitely picking mine. So, the whole summer goes by and he puts out an article every week. And then all of a sudden, I see what I wrote. And then after I read it and I go, oh, and again, it's got my wife's name underneath it. Okay. So I said to my wife, so Susan, I said, did you see what you wrote? And she says, you didn't see it. She says, she says, you mean what we wrote for Nick? And I go, yeah, what we wrote for Nick. And she looks at it and she looks it up and she goes, yeah, I wrote that. And then I looked at it and I go, yeah, she did write that. Okay. So this is where they both meet. There's like a place in consciousness that we can hold both, that we hold them both, and we let go, we just let go, and we know we're in it. We're it's the unfolding is happening, and it's the outwardly focused attention. It's what it's doing. What is it actually doing? It's it's bringing me back home through my awareness pocket process, instead of my help me see this differently. I'm reporting to awareness. I'm reporting to the absolute. I am dismissing my ignorance. And which gets to this other book that I was reading. This had a profound. This was just cementing what I was going through, and it's just like the trailer and the help appear, and I mean life is rigged for me to succeed. My intention is to march toward awareness and to realize myself, to realize that my happiness and peace is my being, and it's all that being is not my being. It's shared by all beings. It's just one being. So this book, Know Yourself, we live in or within the consciousness that there is nothing other than God, or there is something other than God. So I started using that this summer. There's nothing other than God here. And it stops me dead in my tracks of me going through the inner and outer realities of myself. Just stops me dead in my tracks. There is nothing other than God here. There's nothing other than God here. And I go back to the AA saying, nothing in God's world happens by mistake. You know, when the adversity comes, you know, I mean, the short prayer, which was, you know, sometimes when your identity has you by the throat, you know, and you're, you know, and you can't even, you know, you completely lose it. You know, it's tough to say, why is this good for me? You know, but that is the shortcut prayer. I can't see it. You know, this is my customized Hansel and Gretel chip. You know, it's like my servant continues to approach me with free acts until I love him. And when I love him, I am his hearing, his sight, and his hand. So, you know, so how do you stay there? Staying in the self. So this is how it's been working for me. You know, the biggest problem is that I have in my busy life and all that stuff is, you know, that sometimes I'm the sky and I identify with the clouds, you know, and, you know, this process of identifying instead of just observing. So I catch myself identifying. So I can catch myself, you know, and the more I do that, you know, it's like it's easier for me to go to observing. You know, there's like a certain percentage that you know, if you want to put, you know, there's a certain percentage that I live with my ego to get through my, you know, my daily chores and tasks to live in this beautiful dualistic world. And I don't want to ignore it. It is beautiful. You know, I'm here to transcend it and to dismiss, you know, and to go beyond, you know, to see the classroom is to bring it, you know, take all those, you know, take all the tools of forgiveness and where they were not, you know, where forgiveness is not needed because there's nothing other than God. There's nothing other than him, you know, and sometimes I need to hear that there's something, you know, what's not of him. I asked for it, you know, when there's something that's not of God, I asked so I can verify, so I can get back. And this happens. It's not even, it just happens. I see it, you know, and I'm in between. So I'm vacillating in between. Anyway, that's about all I got to say. I mean, it's, I think I'm going to stop there because I'm long-winded again. We do have, while we play this next song, there is the donations will be put on. If you feel to donate, Sina will put that on in the chat, and I guess there's going to be a link, and that it's on the board here. Donate here to support. So I'm going to let go of the mic, and Sina can play that next song. Thanks. Well, I guess that's we're out of time, right?
Thank you for watching. This was our weekly gathering that we hold online. For more information, you can visit our website at awakening-together.org, or you can subscribe to our Awakening Together channel and click the bell for more notifications when we post our weekly gatherings. Thank you again for watching.